1. All right, so I'm going to close that window because it actually did record last time. This is a tough one. This is the one we left off on, though, right?
Wait, what? No.
The number 15 is where we left off on the review yesterday, yay?
Yes.
Okay, so I know I took this one exactly off of the study guide from Unit 2, which was about linear regression. So education research consistently shows the students from wealthier families tend to have higher SAT scores. The slope of the line that predicts SAT score from family is 6.25 points per $1,000. And to have a correlation between the variables is R equals 0.48. So is there a correlation? Yeah. Is it weak, moderate, or strong? 48 is pretty weak. Remember, you'd probably call anything from 80 to 100 pretty strong. 70s to 60s, pretty moderate. Then like that 50s, 40s, there's something there, but it's weak. And the closer you get to 0, you'd say little to none. But the slope of the line that predicts family income from SAT, so essentially reversing X and Y, you're going to have to manipulate variables. Slope equation. Do you remember slope equation?
Yes.
It's rise over run if you're in Algebra 1. But what? Y over X. But least squares regression line had a formula.
Y hat equals P0 plus P1.
That's the full line. What's the equation to find slope from statistics?
R times deviation Y from beginning to end.
Oh, Naomi, good work.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody else, pull a 180. It is literally written behind you. It's in red. R, the correlation, times the standard deviation of Y over the standard deviation of X. Which one does it give you in the problem?
Just R.
Just R, and the slope, right?
Yeah.
So you could say 6.25 equals 0.48 times SY over SX. Do some division, and you know the ratio of the standard deviations is going to be, I have that written down, I did this in advance, 13.02. I'm going to pause for questions. Or maybe I'm not. Questions on that? No? All right, so the trick here is the question's asking us to reverse X and Y. The original problem is 6.25. So the Y would have been points per X in dollars. It's asking the slope if you reverse it. So that means we're going to take 13.02 equals SY over SX. We have to flip it to SX over SY, and that would be 1. The reciprocal, right? 1 over 13.02. Right, because the correlation is going to be the same. So this is going to be, well, I'm not even going to take that. So SX over SY is going to be 1 over 13.02. So the slope of when we reverse them is going to be 48 times 1 over 13.02. Quick calculation. 0.0368, or if we're going to the thousandth, 037. Yeah. Sig figs, that's right. So 037 would be fine. All right. This is a tough one. I get that. It gets real technical, but questions? All right. 16, a researcher with Apple finds that watching 40 minutes of media on your phone leads to about a 36% loss of battery life. What is or are true? Let me just get a yay or nay from the audience as we go through this. A negative residual means a phone's battery life is higher than the model predicts. Yay or nay? So think about it. It's a negative correlation. If we had something like this, a negative residual, is this saying that the battery life is higher or lower? Lower, so we can eliminate A. B, which basically says the opposite, a positive residual means the battery life is higher. Well, the positive residual right here, B is correct. Now it does say is or are true, so we have to still have to see if C is true. If you, I don't know why it says lose, I had to eliminate that. If you watch 80 minutes of media on your phone, the battery life will decrease by about 72%.
We're done.
Or die. What do you guys say?
Yeah, this is about.
I think the key word here is about. So if it does say about, it's good. So you could say B and C. However, if it said it will decrease by 72% or die, can you include it? No. Now, say that louder, Nick. That would be causation. And remember, it only says what we're predicting or about. It's not saying for sure. Okay? See 17. A regression analysis of the amount of free t-shirts a college hands out to prospective freshmen and their actual enrollment. Excuse me, a piece of popcorn's in my throat. For the next year is R equals 0.68. What is true? On average, colleges get 68% of their freshmen from t-shirts. Yay or nay? Yeah, no, that's not right. 2, on average, 68% of a college's profits are spent on t-shirts? No. This model correctly predicts 68% of incoming freshmen' decisions.
No.
Yeah.
You should think all of these are false. None of these accurately represent what R is. Correlation's just going to tell us, generally speaking, there's a moderate correlation between how many t-shirts they hand out and how many freshmen choose to attend, or prospective freshmen choose to attend their school. Thumbs up, thumbs down? I'll have the record show that nobody indicated any thumb whatsoever. Okay, now we got some thumbs. Thumbs. More thumbs. Thumbs, thumbs. All right. Let the record show all thumbs were in the affirmative. What does the residual plot indicate?
Stuff.
It does indicate stuff.
Oh, it's like a line test.
It's a what?
It's a line test.
Kind of is a line test. It'll tell you.
It's
Actually, like,
if it's random, if it's random,
If there's random scatter, what?
then
Like,
it's good.
it
It's fine.
says that how our prediction is far from the what is predicted, like how random we are than what is not predicted.
I think you're interpreting what a residual is. A residual says what, how far away from our predictions it was. Now, when I look at the whole residual plot's when we took that line and we kind of straightened it out.
Also, that means that if it is straight, it does not have some.
So if there's random scatter, what?
It does not.
That's good. What's good?
So there should be no patterns like tails and some.
You're right. We don't want patterns. We don't want tails. We don't want curves. But this so what does the residual plot indicate? It indicates whether or not we can use a
Linear.
line to represent the data, whether it's best represented linearly. So I'll just say the residual plot indicates if a linear model is a good fit. And random scatter indicates that yes, it would be. If it was some type of pattern like a curve or a tail even, then that would not indicate a linear pattern is good. 19, a fast food company. I wonder how much time I have left on this. I don't even know. Have we been here for 10 minutes, you think?
no.
No? Okay, we'll keep going. A fast food company wants information as to how easy it is to replace workers with